All right, so we were working on, can you stand over this way? Okay. We were working on Vlogpire and Grim Vlogger for the Grace, aka Werevlog screenplay, but we're going to take a cut break. You didn't go through what I was reading over and over again. Go ahead, Linda, give us a shot.
Okay, so my dream was, you were actually in my dream, Cole.
Okay.
It's very, very weird.
I see.
So I was in my grandpa's house, and I lived with him when I was 17 and 18. I went into the bathroom to the left, and the toilet didn't work. I'm like, ugh.
Is this part of the dream?
Again. Yes, it's a dream.
Okay.
But the main part of the dream is you were in there, and some child had like a Bible book. It was about 374 pages. And then you had to fill in the blanks. It said, where was Jesus blank, blank, blank? And you wrote down East Asia.
Interesting.
And then on the top, well, no, the little girl I was talking to, I don't remember what she looked like. She had said, how do you know he's going to know it? I'm like, Cole, come here. You were in a different room. And I kind of winked at her. And then that's when you filled it in, East Asia, and on the top you put a Messiah.
So you had this dream last night?
Well, early this morning, about 4 o'clock.
Because I was watching Martin Scorsese's Silence 2016 picture, and you must have, like, riffed off those vibes.
Is East Asia true?
Well, it's set...
There's something about the river.
The movie's set in Japan, well, at least, you know, most, well, Silence is, but...
No, we can't have them chewing on it.
I was chewing.
Yes, the other girl at Aldi says the cat chews on it.
Is there a resolution to the dream?
I woke up because the cat woke me up.
Okay. Not a lot of changes. We did find some misspellings. Not in the dialogue. I don't care about that.
No, quit it. No. Bad boy.
But surprisingly enough, I'm starting to fall back in love with it. So I like this Bella Bartok string quartet number 3. And it only plays on our smartphone, so we can get a little bit of that, you know, for copyright reasons. It is a nice little string quartet that starts playing on her phone on accident when she's trying to turn the flashlight off. And then, of course, she's trying to turn, you know, Grim Vlogger says, don't move too quick. Turn your phone volume down. Sorry, string quartet I was listening to came up on accident. I was trying to turn my flashlight off. Must have hit the wrong button. Is that Bartok? So the thing about the thing about East Asia, you're probably just riffing off some vibes from me watching Silence. This is obviously going to be a satirical comedy. This would have been great for Peter Sellers or something, jumping in Peter Sellers, and anybody can play these parts. You know, just because I have casting choices does not mean it's going to be all. And these also can be either or on male or female. Vlogpire could easily be played by either or. But they are killed in the beginning very quickly, well, pretty quickly. And I am going for more of a Kubrick-style satirical, not, you know, anything like Anchorman and stuff, even though I have mentioned Jim Carrey. This could easily be my little Dr. Strangelove, and we could use Jim Carrey for 3, 4, maybe even 5 roles. I was thinking that last night when I was driving. I didn't want to talk about it, but I like the idea of one person playing many roles. I really like that idea too, a lot. I really like this scene starting off with the Skittle, and he almost swallows the Skittle, or he swallows the Skittle, and then he spits it back up, and then he swallows it again. They're looking at what they think could be a wolf or coyote. They're kind of in character here, and they're vloggers. Okay, Grim Vlogger. I made sure I spelled that correctly. They're also known as the Gothic Vlogger Connection. Okay, there's a few of them that are on YouTube. Ideally, this is kind of based a little bit on Michael and Jessica Grim Life Collective, which I kind of watch daily, but a little bit on Fred Armisen and Carrie Brownstein from Portlandia, a little bit, you know. So it's not; these are characters. Anybody can play them. I'm going to offer them to Michael and Jessica just because I'm doing it as a gift, whether they're able to or not, because they run almost pretty much like a television show. It's a YouTube show. It's highly successful. These guys do too. So these are real people. They are a little repetitive in some of the things they say. you know, this is kind of how Vlog Pyre is like. Try wolf sounds like a big one. Damn, it's cold out. Or is it about midnight? You know, it's that kind of thing. But with good acting, and here's another one. That moon is about awesome. Look at that. You know, so they talk in their little generation kind of speech. Here's Grim Vlogger here. Have you ever seen that before? The moon is wicked and full as that. Is that not cool? And then we cut to a wide shot of bright full moon. So we're getting real kind of Kubrick here. I don't see any of it as black and white, but we would go for that kind of tone, even though we'd be using color. Very dark out. I do mention a few times a field of wheat, and they're walking into a field of wheat, and it's like waist high. And this goes on, and that's what I did right here, a field of wheat in the darkness. This is a scene title. So sometimes if you see, you can see the scene title will sound like a description, like a shot description. That's how this movie is kind of, how it's going. And then there's a wide shot of the field of wheat in darkness. And I'm trying to be very sparse on my shot list that's going to be in the film. But Grim Vlogger turns his camera light on and walks deeper into the field of wheat. Vlog Pyre takes out her smartphone. Both are now walking in the wheat, waist high. Absolutely crucial. Even if we have to use a set, I really don't care. It's got to be wheat. But now, here's a thing on it too. They don't talk about it because he says flashlight on. Here's smartphone. Flashlight illuminates. She waves on some tall weeds because they're kind of the weeds in the field of wheat, in a way. These are people that I don't want to get into the moral aspect of them, but they're kind of the weeds in the field of wheat, in a way. That's why I say she waves at some tall weeds, but they're also kind of the field of wheat too, because they're people, you know. But there's some weeds that she notices in this field of wheat for a moment. So this can be something, not making kind of like close up of the field of wheat. And I want to stay away from close ups. I like these wide shots and stuff. She says, shh, or Grim Vlogger says, shh. Vlog Pyre, do you see that over there? That thing right there on the field, creeping, flashlight off. So Linda does this all the time. I got this from Linda, her flashlight deal. She commands her phone flashlight on or flashlight off. She does not even really know how to turn it on without saying flashlight on or flashlight off. She does it all the time. But this is Vlog Pyre saying, do you see that over there? That thing right there out in the field creeping, flashlight off. Grim Vlogger says, what is that? Now they're starting to kind of see something they don't want to see, you know? And Vlog Pyre says, I don't know, you tell me. It's looking over here, see it? Whispering, flashlight off, take it, turn it off. So right here she knows, this is on page 8 of the movie, she knows immediately that they're in serious danger. So this would have to be played serious because she's seen something that she cannot believe that she's seen. And they say it a few times. There's a 2-shot, Grim Vlogger and Vlog Pyre, which I think is kind of showing maybe their fear or a chance for the actors to show fear here. This is a moment of difficulty. This is going to be serious for the actors. If they cannot commit fully on it, they don't need to take the role. A moment of difficulty, they need to study Strasberg. They need to study what moment of difficulty means. It means they can play themselves. But when they face a moment of difficulty, they're 110% into it emotionally, or it does not work at all. We're talking about The Shining. We're talking about complete dedication and fear, and showing fear, and being able to recall fear. So it will not be easy for the actor. The scene will not be easy. And it starts off very rough. Now, Grim Vlogger is very afraid, but the thing is here is they're still keeping their sense of humor, which people probably have done to the moment of death. Okay? He even leaves the Ozzy Osbourne on whenever he finds it. So he says, oh my dear God, that's huge. In the name of Mila Nirma, what is it? That, you know, this is like, you know, he's maybe saying Mila Nirma here to kind of calm his own nerves. Like, oh my dear God, that's huge. In the name of Mila Nirma, what is that? You know, he's still serious here. And Vlog Pyre says, yes, I do see that, what you may be saying. See it? Jeez. God, what is that, honey? This is so creepy. It's creeping her away. Should we just stand there? Don't move too quick. Turn your phone volume down. So probably somewhere in there, they may think that this is like a joke. This is not like a real werewolf. We don't see the werewolf at all. We only see them reacting to the werewolf. We do not see the werewolf in the scene. We may see a shadow, just a slight shadow of the werewolf. And I remember, one of the things I wanted to call this film was The Shadow of the Werewolf. It could easily be called Grace, aka Werevlog, or The Shadow of the Werewolf, like the full title. Just like Dr. Strangelove is Dr. Strangelove or how I learn to stop worrying and love the bomb. It's kind of this thing. And then right here, I was trying to turn my flashlight off. Must have hit the wrong button. Is that Bartok? Now this is just for like very quick, you know. String quartet number 3. Sorry, dear. I'm trying to turn it down. My thumbs are stiff from the cold. Shh. So she's still trying to reason, you know. He swallows his Skittle. So now he knows he's in trouble. Shh. Does that sound like a werewolf? That looks like a werewolf. I just swallowed my Skittle. Give me a second. Giant coyote, maybe. Wolf, yes. I'm thinking werewolf. Coughing up the candy back up. So he's like, shh. I just swallowed my Skittle and coughed it up and swallowed it again. And that's got to be the biggest coyote I've ever seen in my entire life. Biggest coyote on this planet, I'm sure. Is this a joke? It can't be real. I don't think it's a coyote or wolf. I have to speculate. What we're looking at is a more wolfish than coyote, more like a monster-sized coyote. That coyote is the biggest wolf I've ever seen in my entire life. So the reason she's saying that coyote is the biggest wolf I've ever seen in my entire life is not because I'm trying to be funny. The reason she's saying it is because she's trying to convince herself we're either looking at a coyote or we're looking at a wolf, but we're not looking at a werewolf. We're not looking at the thing. This would be like Michael. Okay, so Michael went out to Scotland and he just now, for Grimlock Collective, he just now vlogged the Loch Ness Monster. This would be as if the Loch Ness Monster rose right before him and he's telling these swift little jokes to kind of convince himself that this is not really happening. This has got to be a joke. But there's really a werewolf here, okay? So the coyote is the biggest wolf I've ever seen in my entire life is Vlog Pyro reasoning. That can't be a coyote, sweetie. That wolfish creature looking thing, what we're looking at right now, about the size of a cow, perhaps is an actual wolf. Jeez Louise, biggest one I've ever seen too. So she's trying to convince him that it's a wolf or a coyote, and Grim Vlogger's trying to convince her that it's a wolf or coyote. This is like Dryker's. It sure is, and now it's coming her way. Do you think werewolves are real? Now this is another moment of difficulty. So this is probably maybe one of the most important lines in the movie. Vlog Pyra says, you know, do you think, and she's about to be killed. And then Grim Vlogger says, hang on, this can't be happening. That actually looks like a werewolf. So both of them right here, this is like a page 9, are coming to realization that they are really seeing a werewolf. Look at that. Look at its eyes. That is so wicked. And they're almost drawn into it, you know. If I were to put directing notes there, they'd be like almost drawn into this thing. And only the shadow of the werewolf is revealed. Hissing sounds arise from the wolfish creature in the dark field. Oh dear Lord, it's hissing. It just hissed at me. Do you see those fangs? Those are enormous fangs. My dear God, do you believe this? Do you believe you're seeing this? Whispering here. So at this point, they've come to a point of maybe panic. And they're whispering, perhaps we should whisper at this point. Whispering here. I was thinking about running. Me too. Run, run. More howling here. So now we have this fierce howling, a long shot, which is basically like a wide shot. Grim Vlogger, Vlog Pyre running. So we see them take off. We want to see them take off and then go into the tracking. Because I want it kind of theater. And then cut to tracking shot following Grim Vlogger and Vlog Pyre. The Grim Vlogger runs while tightening the red woven vintage camera strap around his arm. I think it's important too, because I refer to Rome quite a bit. And the red woven vintage camera strap, I don't know where it's coming from, but it's important, and it's being tightened around his arm. You know, and then there's get to the hearse. I'm running as fast as I can. Grim Vlogger, hurry! And then I am dear, right behind you. Now we have this like Stand By Me moment where the kids are running. Remember that with River Phoenix and the other actors, Will Wheaton and stuff. And he's beating him, and then he's catching up, and then this is all going on right here for real. We hear the wolfish creature chasing after them as they tear, running on foot through the cold night air and toward the main path closer to the parked hearse, which awaits on the shoulder of the road. Sorry, I've written a few books. Cut to reverse tracking. So this is exciting because we see them, we hear the wolfish creature chasing after them as they tear, running on foot through the cold night air and toward the main path, closer to the parked hearse, which awaits at the shoulder of the road. Yeah, we do have a tracking. So we have a tracking here, tracking shot following Grim Vlogger and Vlog Pyre. The Grim Vlogger runs while tightening the... Okay. So we're already tracking them, probably the tracking shot following them. So this would be behind them. Then we get to the reverse tracking here. And I just do a description that you can hear the werewolf is what this is right here. You can hear them, hear it running after them. Then we have the footsteps pound the icy road, the sound of the snow crunching swoosh, then blood. A fleshy piece of cow leg flies across the shoulder of the road. Can't tell if it's alive or dead. We just see flesh flying. but it seems to be a mutilated cow. Vlogpire screams at this gruesome sight of the murdered animal. This is like a real scream. Howls of angst continue. Vlogpire begins running away. She falls over a loose rock on the ground and tumbles to the soil, looking back in fear. A cow cries in pain in the darkness. So we're getting the sound of cows being killed. We don't know if this is like a group of werewolves or if this is one werewolf just going through the field, killing these cows and killing them or trying to kill them. We cut to a track shot following Grim Vlogger and Vlogpire running. Vlogpire runs across a mutilated cow in the field and sidesteps around the dead animal, continues running for her life. Run, honey, run, run! This is a screaming right here. Grim Vlogger is now sprinting. Now, I capitalize on screaming here. I'm just going to go ahead and put up parentheses, builds to a scream. Okay? So we build to the scream here. This is a little director note. And then Grim Vlogger is now sprinting. Okay, now he's running for his life. Vlogpire runs as fast as she can behind him. She catches up to him. They run together towards safety to the safety of the parked hearse, which they think. Cut to reverse tracking. Grim Vlogger, so we're going back and forth on the tracking. Vlogpire runs from the dark field to the hearse on the road. God help us, please, for the love of God. Jesus, help us, please, God. Grim Vlogger takes the lead again, and Vlogpire runs faster and keeps up against the trail behind him, trying to catch up. The wolfish creature's shadow tackles her and takes a bite to her neck, dragging her back into the darkness. Now we're seeing this in the reverse tracking, right? Yeah. So we're seeing her go back into the darkness, and there can just be blood spilling on the road. We only see the beast's shadow at this point. Remember. We don't even see like glowing werewolf eyes or anything like that. We're just seeing this kind of like shadow. Blood spills on the road. She reaches out for her companion, who is now desperately running away. In her horror, foggy cold breath escapes her mouth as she cries helplessly and begins losing blood. Now that we have a long shot, so we go back into this stillness of this long shot. So we have this movement, and then boom, there's a long shot of just the road and the black hearse. The fog arises from the field. So something is going on here that's supernatural and begins to hover over the road and Vlogpire, who is now saying, help me, and Grim Vlogger's saying, hang on, dear. He's trying to figure something out for her. Cut to medium shot Grim Vlogger. Grim Vlogger makes it to the hearse and opens the driver's side door, dives in. Now, we've lost Vlogpire here. She's still asking for help here. Help me. And then we get to a starts ignition. The radio begins to play Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne. And this is going to be in the first 12 minutes of the movie. Okay. And I want it. I hope we can get Osbourne, Crazy Train in this. So we cue music here. We can either have it non-diegetic or diegetic. I'd rather go diegetic, where you're hearing it come from the radio very, very loudly. Because he's panicking, and then we have a tracking shot following Grim Vlogger's black hearse. Grim Vlogger drives the hearse into the field toward Vlogpire and does not bother to turn off the radio. This is the field of wheat that they had just left. The Grim Vlogger stops the vehicle before Vlogpire, who now lies motionless in the frozen field, who pulls the gear handle into park. Crazy Train continues playing on the radio. So because of him panicking, I can just put the words in panic right here. Okay, and then we do like a little, let's say, sorry, I'm kind of a writer. So in panic, Grim Vlogger drives. So this is all done in panic. That's why he doesn't touch the radio. He's in shock. Panic and shock are very similar. Medium shot, Grim Vlogger handheld over the shoulder, Grim Vlogger handheld. Grim Vlogger gets out of the vehicle and opens a trunk and rolls out a black polished funeral coffin. Inside the coffin is an arsenal of monster-slaying weaponry such as a wooden crucifix, holy water, antique flintlock pistol, and other iconic monster-killing tools. Grim Vlogger removes a large crossbow from the inside interior panel and loads the weapon with a silver tip arrow. He pulls the wire back, taut in place, and aims and fires the silver arrow at the approaching shadow. Swish, a miss. Swoosh. Grim Vlogger looks down at his arm that has now fallen to the ground, still gripping his own camera. The hand twitches. The camera continues recording, capturing all the horror. Grim Vlogger's camera point of view. His camera records from the ground up. Thud. He falls over. So we see him fall over from his own camera that's holding for dear life, and it's still, his hand is still kind of holding the camera. He falls over. The monstrous wolfish shadow towers over his main body. So we see the first shadow of the werewolf. The wolf howls more. The wide shot of Grim Vlogger as he returns to his feet and runs towards the road, huffing and puffing and bleeding out. So he's already fallen over, and then we go to a wide shot, and he returns to his feet. A medium shot Grim Vlogger, he makes it to the shoulder of the road, now very pale and dimly lit in the eyes because he only has one arm now. Now, Wide shot Grim Vlogger on the road near Black Hearse. Grim Vlogger turns around as the vlogger's head is detached. I would like this in wide shot. I just saw this last night in Silence with Scorsese. There was a moment where someone's head is decapitated, but this is going to be done in wide shot, which I think is more powerful. And we're going to have the wolf of shadows, swift sweeping, razor sharp claw. We're going to see the claw. The sound of air escapes his open neck. Blood gurgles. A slight moment of silence. Grim Vlogger, now headless, falls to his knees and then limp to the ground. Wind blows. So that happens. He falls. Then we have a moment and wind blows. He twitches, becomes perfectly still, close on the piece of Skittle candy falling on the road. Now this is obviously coming from his neck. The bloody piece of Skittle falls to the paved road and spins in the moonlight. Cut to, we go to an ECU, which is an extreme close-up of bloody piece of Skittle candle in the moonlight with full moon on horizon. The bloody piece of Skittle finally stops spinning and rests in the road under the full moon. Cut to wide shot of dark field under the full moon. Cows move in the distance. We have a moment here, which is the cows. More howling far off in the distance under the full moon. Dissolve to the full moon. Dissolve to 10 years ago.